day 23, 24, I don't know, 23, I think. It's time for kettlebell swings. And today will be 10D12. Starting a little light, not in terms of weight, but in terms of tempo, in terms of action, allowing my body to wake up. It is 04:55. This should be round 6, or session 6, or phase 6, whatever you want to call it. Adding 2 repetitions for the kettlebell swing for each session. Feels pretty good. Might as well get used to shaking my arms. Grip tends to be or become a limiting factor for kettlebell swings as volume increases. Steadying the breath. And it's time to go. Hike, thrust. Light push down. Trying to keep the tempo up. So yeah, once again, the kettlebell's momentum is going up on a lever, and I'm holding the handle. So there is a lever here that I'm actively squeezing, gripping, and turning down to make sure the kettlebell doesn't rotate and move forward when I start to push down. This once again requires this bracing, almost as if someone were punching me in the belly and I was tensing up to protect myself. This might sound like a strange cue, but in terms of exercise instruction, what science seems to indicate is that external cues are the most effective for producing the intended results. Our bodies are meant to do things, to externally create but for high-level athletics, we need to do more, in a sense. and we can just do, thousands of kettlebell swings, and we will learn. That's just the name of the game. When we push and challenge ourselves intuitively, the body will find the way. Coaching is about getting there faster. So definitely some increased heart rate. There's so much to learn by simply reducing the amount of time to go from tension and action to relaxation and recovery. So I've been very critical to the alternative healing medicine, whatever. I can't even find the words. Whatever. It's an alternative space. Because what I've perceived over the past 3 to 5 years is this overemphasis on the nervous system. I understand that the nervous system is important, but the nervous system doesn't know. Okay, it doesn't know if we are in a life or death, being chased by a tiger situation, or if we are in a relationship conflict, or if we are training. It's all the same. It's a perceived stress. So if I subject myself to stress intentionally, and I learn to associate that with something more safe, and with beneficial habits, deep breaths, relaxing my body, grounding, feeling my body, taking in the space around me. All these things adapt my nervous system to higher level functioning. But it also creates the habitual pattern of staying calm, of not overriding, because it will still be stress. It will just be a pattern, a good habit. military doctrine is plan for the worst, hope for the best. You train as you fight, or rather, you fight as you train. So we train super, super hard so that we get into a fight. The fight seems easy, okay? This is why we push training hard. This is why we make it mindful, why we focus on breathing, presence in the body, so that when I get into a challenging situation of any sort, whether it's a argument or a fight or just stress of some sort, my body already knows, my mind realizes, oh, I've been here before. What do I do? Deep breaths. Take a quick pause. Where am I? Where am I? What's going on? Now I can act with a little bit more clarity, a little bit more distance. So, I get it. It's really important. But I also, I don't respect that the alternative medicine healing space is essentially over feminized, for sure, for certain. And it is the blind leading the blind. It is people who've somehow managed their trauma, teaching others how they manage their trauma. It is essentially losers guiding losers. And this is what we see on a macro level. It's a blatant despise, disgust, ressentiment, as Nietzsche put it, of the winners instead of, and this is old, ancient wisdom, bless what you want. Instead of saying, wow, that person is successful, I wish I could be that. That is lovely. How can I learn? We hate it. Let jealousy guide and tear down. And this is where we're stuck. So, I'm not saying war and military doctrine is the be-all, end-all. But if you want to learn how to adapt to challenge, that is where the experience is. A lot more than in any sort of authentic, relating, circling, tantric, conscious communities. There's a lot more love there, but the experience and the implementation and the integration of dealing with stress is not. Now, if we fuse these worlds, we get something really powerful. So, really, really powerful training, really, really mindful and gentle, subtle awareness. Fuse these, and we can handle basically anything. No, it's true. We do carry trauma, and I just want to invite you to shift the idea of the word trauma and just say, this is experience, this is history, this is story, this is narrative, because that's what it is. We all have it. It doesn't matter if it's, big T trauma, you were abused or hurt, or something happened at some point and you drew an experience and created a story about the world or yourself from that. It's all the same. And it all affects how we show up in the world today. But if we can create some distance, if we can get to know our nervous system, our stress, our fight or flight, we create that gap, between input and reaction, or action, or response, whatever fancy word you want to call it, that is non-instinctual, non-automatic, that is conscious and aware. That does not mean shutting down the body, going into the head, becoming an observer, but rather being present, allowing ourselves to feel that, oh, hey, I feel this. My chest, my heart, my belly contracts, my heart rate or respiratory rate is increasing. I can even feel the tension in my skin, blood pressure, whatever it may be. The more we become present and aware to that, this increases the resolution, the more aware we can become. And yeah, we can become really fancy about how we act and how we respond in those situations. But it's all back to basics. That's why we meditate, sit in silence, distance ourselves from our thoughts. The same thing. It's just that is a very non-specific, blunt tool for doing that. I did handstands for years. Because why? Because I fall when I lose track, when I lose focus. When I lose focus meditating, I just drift away. There's no feedback. Okay? So, nervous system training through physical effort, through stress, this widens the gap. Hyperarousal, hypoarousal, fight or flight, freeze. This is active, this is present, this is flow. The more we raise the roof, lower the ceiling, pushing harder, 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 slowing down, slower, 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 the wider our space of active presence becomes. That is powerful. So, hope you enjoyed this little bonus. I'll probably be late for work. I need to get in the shower. Copy my template in the comments. Let me know how you're doing on the program, in your practice. Any feedback or questions, highly appreciated. And if you're watching this on any place other than in the school community, if you want to join and just hang out with people that are taking their lives seriously and that want to grow and take responsibility for making that happen through physical practice, through attention, through agency, you're welcome. All right. Have a nice day. Peace.